Welcome to an AI American Lady character livestream. Thank you ever so much for sending the snickerdoodle cookies. They are totally scrumptious. One of my favorites. How kind of you. Oh my goodness, I love this show. Thank you, The Waltons. It's such a feel-good family movie series. Don't you just love it when you can pretend you're in another world when you're watching movies? Now maybe I can actually finish it. I never did. How generous of you. Oh, thank you ever so much for the money. Now I can help all of these causes and charities. There are so many needs out there. We really want to do our part and make a difference. Oh, my heart! Raggedy Ann and Andy! I collected these growing up and I still have Susie, my first doll. I don't have the whole collection anymore though, but this is so wonderful of you. Thank you. They're a beloved childhood toy. Oh my goodness. Have you had these? Thank you for sending them. You can get these at Sam's Club. They're such an American classic food. They're one of the best. A 10 out of 10. Thank you ever so much for this banjo, the instrument. I used to have one growing up. And then my grandpa, I think maybe it was his and then he gave it to me and then maybe I gave it back or something. It hurt my fingers, so I stopped playing it. But it's some amazing bluegrass music. It makes for that, definitely. Thank you ever so much for the refrigerator. Because of this invention, our lives are so convenient and our food is fresh and we're so much healthier and live longer lives. We must preserve our foods. Oh, thank you so much for Barbie. My entire life, she has been my outer beauty inspiration. I love her. I'm trying to collect more. This, oh my goodness, have you watched it? Thank you, I appreciate it. To Kill a Mockingbird. It is one of the best pieces of literature and film to ever be created. I highly recommend. Oh, the telephone! Did you have one of these growing up? Thank you ever so much. What a perfect gift. So growing up, my brothers, sisters, and I would fight over who would get to take a turn to answer the phone next. And we would say, "Hello, Beckers, this is Hannah. How can I help you?" I don't think any of my family has this anymore. We all have cell phones. But what an incredible invention. Thank you ever so much for the cheesecake. So gourmet, so divine. Thank you so much for the G.I. Joes. My son will love these. Such a masculine, such a good kind of a figure, you know? We love our brave, masculine men. Thank you so much for the shopping cart. I am trying to end lazy cart syndrome and lazy bonesitis. I went to Walmart this evening and I have never been so embarrassed in my entire life of my local Walmart than I was. It's uncalled for. It's ridiculous. It's insane. I was so upset. All you have to do is take a few little extra steps and put it away in that outside stall. Society will love you for it. I have always put my shopping cart away, and I will until the end of time. Let's end lazy cart syndrome. Thank you so much for the disposable diapers. I was going to use cloth diapers for my son, but, because growing up, that's what my family used. They're so much healthier and breathable, and just, your baby is just really, really better off, but there's so much work and too time consuming. So disposable diapers, I'm in love with them. Thank you so much. Both are great. Thank you so much for the macaroni and cheese. It is a favorite of mine. For all of my birthdays, for as long as I can remember growing up, I always asked to have macaroni and cheese, and we made it from scratch. But this is really good too. Thank you so much for the Lincoln Logs. My son will enjoy these immensely. We had these growing up, my brothers and sisters and I. And it just helps for this best creative brain, you know? And think of all the things you can do and accomplish when you grow up because of the amazing toys that you have as a kid. Thank you so much for this copy of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. It is the pillars and the foundation for our beloved America. We must preserve it and protect it at all costs. Thank you so much for this Bible. You guys, America is a Christian country, a Christian nation. Without this blueprint for our lives, we are nothing. But we have done away with God in a lot of things, so let's bring him back. If we bless God, he will bless us. Thank you so much for the American flags. We are so patriotic here in America, and we love to see our flags everywhere. They literally are so meaningful. There is so much to the stories behind our flag. America is the best country on earth. Thank you ever so much for the internet. Growing up, we had dial-up speed, and I wanted to twiddle my thumbs because it took forever to dial up. I'm so grateful for the internet being as fast as it is today. There's so much with the internet that we get to enjoy. Thank you ever so much for the airplane. I am almost 33 years old, and I will never ever fly on one, but my husband has. I'm terrified. But kudos to all of you that love it. Thank you ever so much for the hot dog. The Hebrew National are my favorite. They're so good. Thank you ever so much for the chocolate chip cookies. My all-time favorite cookie. The best of the best. Thank you ever so much for the light bulb. Just think how wonderful we all are because of it. Thank you ever so much for the Alka-Seltzers. They are wondrous for getting well from a cold. Thank you ever so much for the UPC. It's universal. It works everywhere. Thank you so much for the BLTs. Thank you so much for the vacuum. Thank you so much for the KitchenAid. I own one. Thank you so much for the Honda Accord. Thank you ever so much for the American Girl doll. Thank you ever so much for the apple pie. It's so good. Thank you ever so much for the football. Thank you ever so much for being here. Cheers.